So keeping in mind the fact that we have cocktails waiting for us, there are 2 points I'd like to leave you with. And they're the reason we hold this conference. They're the reason we do a lot of this work. First, it's abundantly clear that technology has a powerful and growing place in the pursuit of social justice. We saw that over and over and over again today. We saw and heard that in countless ways, and we've witnessed the reality of it. This conference, shockingly, is perfectly timed, because we saw the reality of it in the last few weeks in Tunisia and Egypt, last year, at the end of '09 actually, in Iran, yesterday in Bahrain. It's abundantly clear that technology has a place in social change. But I'll tell you, it's also abundantly clear that the use of technology for social good is not going to materialize by happenstance, spontaneously. It's by no means a certainty. We heard over and over again barriers to getting that done, to having that happen. It's going to happen only if we collectively make a deliberate effort to envision a role for technology in advancing social good, only if we deliberately work to fulfill that vision. There are countless barriers to getting this done, but if we are going to fulfill the vision, if we're going to get done what our forebears did when television and telephony and air travel became common, we have to work diligently, we have to work together, and we have to work purposefully. If all of us are to remain on the front lines of promoting social change, we must recognize that every element of social justice now, education, health, political participation, economic opportunity, and countless other things, is now dependent on harnessing digital technology for social good and ensuring that everybody, in particular, marginalized populations, in particular poor people, rural people, elderly people, disabled people, have access to that technology. Now, at Ford, and I hope at every philanthropy, we have to approach this era with a spirit of profound experimentation. I mentioned that a second ago. We have to think like early-stage venture capitalists. We need to take chances, risks, in pursuit of the unknowable breakthroughs that will define our time. Many of the things we heard today didn't exist 24 months ago. Many of those organizations are brand new. We need to be better at supporting technology-driven social justice ideas from the very beginning. Ideas as powerful as the ones we heard today from Juliana, from Ethan, Solana, Jake, James, to be sure that in this era, we have the capacity for success, because to be successful in this era, we need to be that open to new ideas. We have no choice but to approach this era of immense opportunity with the knowledge that none of us in this room has answers, and that only by working together, by sharing ideas, by taking risks, can we slowly begin to bend the arc of social justice by using digital democracy as a tool. What our country looks like decades from now, the trajectory of our economic development, upward mobility for those on the margins of our society, all those things will depend in large measure, and I don't overstate this, on the actions we take and the things we invent in the coming months and years. Working together as innovators, entrepreneurs, philanthropists, the people in this room, a broad cross-section, we have the power. We have the power to maximize new opportunities for economic growth, job creation, education. Digital technology offers us that opportunity. And my hope is that all of us can come away from this event. And by the way, the ongoing dialogue, I hope, follows it, with new ideas for collaboration and cooperation in pursuit of precisely these goals. And above all, that we leave here with a reminder that the work we're doing has the opportunity to truly transform the world, no different than Google, Facebook, and Twitter. The urgency is real. This is now. And the time to act is now. So thank you for spending the day with us.